Okay. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Some familiar faces, so that's nice. Um, so this is our career fair, and we're very happy to see you here. And here you might be able to find a host family that you really like or a job that you're really interested in, but you also just may find other connections or support that we can offer you to find a different host family. So it's really just a space where you can explore, ask very honest questions, take notes, right? So we can answer maybe different questions later. Take notes about host families that you really like and to help you grow as well. So many of or some of the people that you see in here on the Zoom are actually part of our ACD team. The ACD team is short for Apex Care and Development Team. So those will be the ones that will full-time assist you and be your full-time support person once you're in the United States, or even if you're still in Germany and you have questions, they'll be there for you too. Um, and then another part of the team is our LCL team. I know that some of you guys were in the academy, so we briefly explained it there as well. And those are the people that live very close to you, might not be your main contact, but they will organize things for you, like meetings, um, and they would still be very close by if you needed to see somebody in person. So here, this is the whole team. So this is more of a visual of our ACD team. This is just led by Virginia. She's the executive vice president of the ACD team. She's based in Philadelphia. And then we're really all over the country. So you have Ellie and Leanne on the East Coast, same as Debbie. And then Jane and I are in California, Southern and Northern. Then we have people in Texas and really all over the place. So wherever you go, you will have a person um, that will help you with things. So today we actually have a special guest. Um, we're very excited to welcome Darlene. Let's see where you are. Are you here, Darlene? Oh yeah, I can see you. Hi. Thank you so much for coming. So Darlene is actually a care professional right now in the US. And just to get, she'll be sharing like her firsthand experience and answering a few questions, which is a great opportunity for you to hear what life is like as a CP. So if you have questions about that too, write it all down and we'll answer for you later as well. For this part, we'll quickly switch to German just to make it a bit easier and more comfortable for everyone. So let's start. Okay. Da viele von euch vielleicht noch sehr viele Fragen haben, vielleicht ein paar Sorgen, was auch ganz normal ist, ist es schön, dass ihr hier Darlene hier habt. Sie stand mal genau an eurer Stelle, an der ihr jetzt seid. Und sie will sehr offen mit euch teilen, was sie erlebt hat. Darlene, willst du dich mal kurz vorstellen?
Ja, sehr gerne. Ja, hallo, ich bin Darlene. Ich bin 25 Jahre alt und seit 23 Monaten, also fast 2 Jahre schon in den USA. Davon war ich 12 Monate als erstes in New York und habe mit einer Gastfamilie zusammengelebt, die ein autistisches Mädchen haben. Und dann bin ich vor 11 Monaten, also letztes Jahr im September ungefähr, bin ich nach New Jersey in eine andere Gastfamilie gewechselt und lebe nun mit 3 Gastkindern zusammen. Es klingt erstmal wahrscheinlich auch sehr überwältigend, 3 Gastkinder, aber es ist echt gar nicht so schlimm, wie man sich das vielleicht am Anfang vorstellt.
Ja.
Ja, sie sind 6 Jahre alt, also ich habe einen 6 Jahre alten neurotypischen Gastjungen, ein 9-jähriges Mädchen, was auch neurotypisch ist, und einen 11 Jahre alten Gastjungen, der autistisch ist. Also er hat Autismus, ist nonverbal meistens, also er spricht nicht, beziehungsweise er kann ein paar Wörter sprechen. Wenn man ihn versteht, dann weiß man auch, was er sagt, aber das braucht ein bisschen Zeit. und er hat eine Entwicklungsverzögerung. Ja, und ich muss tatsächlich an der Stelle sagen, ich hatte nicht so Zweifel am Anfang, bevor ich hierher gekommen bin, weil ich mir ziemlich klar darüber war, was ich machen möchte und dass ich das machen möchte. Aber ich hatte natürlich auch Momente einfach, in denen ich mir Sorgen gemacht habe darüber, ob das vielleicht mit der Gastfamilie dann doch nicht klappt. Denn am Anfang, man hat diese Interviews, aber was ist, wenn es persönlich doch nicht einfach funktioniert mit den Charakteren? Was ist, wenn ich doch total Heimweh bekomme, was ich nicht dachte, dass ich es bekomme, aber man weiß ja nie am Anfang.
Ja.
Oder vielleicht passiert irgendwas mit meiner Familie, mit meinen Freunden oder die ganzen Feiern, die man verpasst, vielleicht zu Hause. Äh,
Hm.
aber rückblickend kann ich einfach sagen, dass das wirklich eine der besten Entscheidungen meines Lebens war, hierher zu kommen. Ich bin total glücklich hier. Ich habe so viel beruflich dazu gelernt, aber auch persönlich als Mensch habe ich sehr viel gelernt und bin sehr stark gewachsen. Ähm,
Darlene, wie würdest du sagen, war das für dich in einer komplett neuen Familie zu leben? Weil du hast das ja jetzt schon zweimal gemacht. Wie ist es, in eine komplett neue Familie reinzukommen?
es ist aufregend. Es ist wirklich sehr aufregend. Ähm, und ungewohnt natürlich auch. Man kennt die Leute noch nicht. Man hat vielleicht nur ein paar Mal die Familie per Videochat gesehen.
Mhm.
Dementsprechend ist man natürlich sehr nervös und hofft, dass alles klappt. Aber ich kann von meiner Erfahrung zweimal sagen, dass ich sehr offen und herzlich aufgenommen wurde. Es wurde alles super schön vorbereitet. Und ja, am Anfang fühlt es sich komisch an. Und man weiß noch nicht so recht, so man passt sich an, die Familie passt sich einem an. Es fühlt sich vielleicht eher auch an wie so ein WG-Leben erstmal.
Mhm.
Aber ich kann von meiner Erfahrung sagen, dass ich total gut mit meiner Familie zusammengewachsen bin und dass das eher so wie ein Familienleben ist. Es gibt Auf und Abs, wie in jeder Familie, aber im Großen und Ganzen passt das. Also man passt sich halt an und dann weiß man, was mögen die, was mag ich, was mögen sie nicht, was mag ich nicht. Und man
Mhm.
nimmt Rücksicht.
Super. Susan, hattest du eine Frage dazu?
Ich finde das total super, Darlene. Ich möchte mich auch nochmal ganz herzlich bei euch bedanken, dass ihr euch heute die Zeit genommen habt. Ich hoffe, die Hitzewelle ist in Deutschland schon ein bisschen vorbei. Ich bin Susanne, ich bin hier in Kalifornien. Ich habe eine Erzieherin gerade hier, die in ihrem zweiten Jahr schon ist. Die betreut meine Fünfjährige. Meine Fünfjährige hat sich jetzt gerade hier bei mir im Office versteckt. Also die wird dann gleich wahrscheinlich reinstürmen. Und ich habe einen Besuch hier von vor 15 Jahren, meine Apex Care Professional von vor 15 Jahren, die Anna. Und hier ist die Samira, die Zakira. Komm mal ganz kurz gucken, Zakira. Wow. Wir sind gerade in einer kurzen Vorstellung und hier sind ganz viele Leute, die
Hi,
gerade
girl.
in Deutschland noch sind und wir schauen uns jetzt verschiedene Familien vor. Und Zakira ist aus Bielefeld,
Genau.
Erzieherin, 24, jetzt im zweiten Jahr.
23.
23, okay, muss ich nicht Alter machen, wie sie ist. Ja, und jetzt hier in Südkalifornien, erst ein Jahr in Philadelphia und hat dort mit einem 15-jährigen nonverbalen Kind gearbeitet.
Genau.
Wie läuft es sonst so?
Ganz gut, kann mich nicht beschweren. Das ist, warum ich ein zweites Jahr mache.
Genau. Ja, also Sakira steht auch offen, falls jemand mal sozusagen, sag mal wirklich, wie es ist. Sie ist sozusagen wie sagt man,
Deutsche
direkt
Fernsehen.
deutsche, also eine Erzieherin aus Deutschland, die euch das so sagt, wie es ist. The good, the bad and the ugly. Weil wir verstecken hier nichts, weil wir sagen nicht, es ist hier immer nur Sonnenschein, weil es regnet sogar in Kalifornien, auch wenn es statistisch gesehen nur 16 Tage im Jahr sind. Aber wenn wir euch sagen, dass wenn ihr hier in die USA kommt, dass jeder Tag nur Sonnenschein wird, das wird es nicht werden. Und genauso ist es auch wie im normalen Leben. Es geht hoch und runter. Und eins kann ich euch aber versprechen, nachdem ich das jetzt 3000 Mal fast mitgemacht habe mit jungen Menschen, diese Zeit, die ihr hier im Ausland erleben werdet, wird eine der prägendsten Zeiten in eurem Leben werden. Egal was und wie und wo, ihr jetzt in den nächsten 1, 2 Jahren erleben werdet. Ihr werdet zurückblicken und denken, oh mein Gott, kannst du glauben? Und die meisten, die sich letztendlich entschieden, tatsächlich ins Ausland zu gehen, machen es deswegen, weil sie sagen, ich möchte nicht irgendwann aufwachen und denken, hätte ich mal, ja. Jetzt, wo ihr noch jung seid, kein Kredit an für ein Haus an, sozusagen keine eigenen Kinder, keine eigenen großen Verpflichtungen habt, jetzt ist die Zeit, das auszuprobieren.
Okay, danke, Susan. Super.
Also vielen Dank, dass ihr euch mit uns auf den Weg begebt, und von mir habt ihr 100%iges Commitment. Wenn ihr wollt, werden wir es möglich machen. Aber wollen und machen liegt bei euch. Ich sage immer, wir sind eine Gym mit Professional, Personal Trainer. Wir sind keine Spa, wo man sich reinkommt, hinlegt und dann massieren lässt, sondern wir können euch sagen, dass wenn ihr bei uns den Startschuss setzt und euch auf unser Programm einlasst, dann können wir dir garantieren, dass wenn ihr regelmäßig kommt, die Anleitungen befolgt und euch einbringt, werdet ihr durch die Decke gehen. Ihr werdet euch in der Zeit im Ausland mindestens mit einem Faktor 10 entwickeln, weil ich habe es jetzt gesehen, Anna ist jetzt hier, die ist jetzt mittlerweile Mitte 30, war vor 15 Jahren hier bei uns in den USA und sie ist jetzt World Traveler, sie ist jetzt Apothekerin und ist regelmäßig auf der ganzen Welt unterwegs mit ihren internationalen Freunden, die zurückgehen auf die Zeit von vor 15 Jahren. Und ich bin super gespannt, wo ich euch alle in den nächsten 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 Jahren irgendwann wieder treffe und was ihr für eine Story geschrieben habt. Und damit möchte ich es wieder zurückgeben an die liebe Nina und Ellie und an die Darlene.
Schön.
Darlene, danke, dass du heute gekommen bist, weil Darlene hat eine ganz, ganz besondere Entwicklung auch hier in den USA durchgemacht und ich bin super stolz auf sie, was sie alles jetzt schon geschafft hat. Dinge, die sie sich selbst nicht mal zugetraut hat am Anfang, hat sie jetzt einfach so gemeistert. Also stay
Dankeschön.
tuned für Darlene's Success Story und irgendwann wird es dann heißen, it's Conny's Success Story und Eikes Success Stories und Leons Success Story. Und ich freue mich riesig zu sehen, was jetzt bei euch in den nächsten Wochen, Monaten alles so passieren wird.
Ja,
Viel
danke.
Erfolg dabei.
Darlene, was hast du denn schon alles beruflich gemacht? Wie konntest du dich hier weiterentwickeln? Welche Möglichkeiten hattest du?
Ich bin täglich bei der ABA-Therapie von meinem Gastjungen dabei. Das ist eine Verhaltenstherapie, die in unserem Fall auch hier bei uns zu Hause stattfindet, was mir sehr viel gezeigt hat und sehr viel auch beigebracht hat, was ich so vielleicht vorher noch gar nicht kannte oder auch so gar nicht angewendet habe. Aber ich weiß auf jeden Fall, dass ich das mit nach Deutschland nehmen werde, weil ich echt viele Sachen gesehen habe, von denen ich positiv begeistert bin. Ich bin auch extern noch, also ich bin Ergotherapeutin. Ich hatte das, glaube ich, gar nicht am Anfang gesagt. Und ich bin auch wöchentlich bei den externen Ergotherapie-Sessions noch mit dabei, wo ich sehr viel mitnehme. Aber ich habe auch schon Sachen mitgenommen wie Logopädie zusätzlich noch, wo ich wahrscheinlich in Deutschland nie so richtig einen Einblick gehabt hätte. Oder auch Reittherapie und Schwimmtherapie. Also ich habe eine große Bandbreite an verschiedenen Therapien hier tatsächlich sehen können und miterleben können.
Wow, super, richtig schön. Und ich glaube, du hast sogar noch Schwimmen auch mitgemacht, ne? Und Reittherapie. Hast du das?
Genau.
Ja, richtig cool.
Darlene,
Ähm,
magst du mal noch drüber erzählen, du hast eine persönliche Leidenschaft schon in Deutschland gehabt, das Cheerleading?
Ja, ich kann darüber kurz auch was erzählen. Ähm, ja, wie Susan gerade schon erwähnt hat, ich habe in Deutschland leidenschaftlich Cheerleading gemacht. Also ich bin eine leidenschaftliche Cheerleaderin, seit ich 12 bin, also jetzt schon 13 Jahre. Und im ersten Jahr hier hat das leider nicht so geklappt, weil ich in meiner Nähe kein Cheerleading-Team hatte, außer Highschool-Cheerleading, was in unserem Fall ja schwierig ist, da mitzumachen. Aber ich habe dann in meinem zweiten Jahr im New Jersey hier nochmal geschaut und habe tatsächlich gesehen, dass es ein Cheerleading-Team hier in der Nähe gibt, die auch genau zu der Zeit, wo ich herkam, noch nach einer weiteren Person gesucht haben, die meine Position im Cheerleading ist. Was sehr überraschend war, wenn man bedenkt, dass also es wird ausgewählt im Mai und es war September, als ich herkam. Das war sehr überraschend. Ja, da bin ich hingegangen zu einem Probetraining und wurde aufgenommen und habe dann das letzte Jahr über in einem amerikanischen Cheerleading-Team in einem der höchsten Kategorien, die man machen kann, habe ich als aktive Cheerleaderin teilgenommen, bin zu Meisterschaften gefahren, zu Trainings und war dann letztendlich im April, ja, Ende April, in Orlando im Disney World und war bei der Cheerleading-Weltmeisterschaft.
Super
Wir haben
cool.
Ist mit dem amerikanischen Cheerleading-Team gestartet in der Weltmeisterschaft. Müsst ihr euch mal reinziehen. Unsere
wir sind
deutsche
Siebter geworden.
Berlin hat in einem amerikanischen Termin mittrainiert, ist in Amerika durch die Competitions gegangen mit ihrem Team und das Team hat sich qualifiziert für die Weltmeisterschaft. Und dann ist sie mit dem amerikanischen Team zur Weltmeisterschaft gefahren für die Amerikaner. Und gleichzeitig war die Melissa, die in Philadelphia ist, bei uns, auch eine Apex Care Professional, hat ihre Freundin besucht, die aus Deutschland die Trainerin war für das deutsche Cheerleading-Team. Das heißt, wir hatten eine Apex Care Professional, die im amerikanischen Team mitcompetet hat für die Amerikaner, eine Deutsche, die ihre beste Freundin, die Trainerin vom deutschen Team war, und eine andere Alumni, die Franzi, eine Physiotherapeutin, die auch in den USA war, die ist in den letzten Jahren immer als Trainerin für das deutsche Team zur Cheerleading-Weltmeisterschaft gefahren. Also, wenn ihr eine Passion habt, die über euren Beruf hinausgehen, und diese Passion hier in den USA, guckt, was es da für Möglichkeiten gibt. Wir hatten junge Leute, die eine, die hat mit ihrem Cello, mit der Geige, mit der Violine in Oakland, in San Francisco, im Jugendphilharmonieorchester mitgespielt. Eine andere hat bei einem Horseback, wie heißt das, Equestrian, weißt du, wenn du
Mhm.
auf dem Pferd stehst und das Pferd galoppiert, hat dort in den Nationals mitcompetet. Also je nach Handball, egal was es ist, was eure Passion ist, findet ihr andere Gruppen um euch rundherum. Es geht
Mhm.
also nicht nur um euren Beruf und eure Familie, um die Gastkinder, das ist das Core, aber es gibt viele Möglichkeiten rundherum, wo ihr selbst aktiv werden könnt. Und Darlene hat es im ersten Jahr haben wir alle gedacht, ja, das Darlene, Cheerleading, ja, guck halt mal, ja. Und dann ist Darlene dran geblieben. Und wer hätte gedacht, dass Darlene in der Weltmeisterschaft für die Amerikaner im Team mit an den Start geht. Also solche Erfolgsgeschichten hatten wir ganz viele. Und
Mhm.
vielleicht seid ihr die nächsten Erfolgsgeschichten, ja, mit dem, was ihr macht, wo ihr Passion seid. Ob es jetzt Fußball ist, Soccer, ein Instrument spielen, ein Interesse, gibt so viele unterschiedliche Möglichkeiten und ja, Darlene hat es mit dem Cheerleading geschafft und das zweite war dann noch, willst du auch noch kurz erzählen, Darlene, was du jetzt geschafft hast, dass du in die Uni gekommen bist?
So, ja, ich habe mich für das Wintersemester letztes Jahr an der Diploma-Hochschule für ein Online-Studium eingeschrieben und bin jetzt aktuell in meinem zweiten Semester für den Bachelor zur Ergotherapeutin. Da wurde ich angenommen und da kann ich auch einfach dazu sagen, falls jemand von euch da vielleicht auch Interesse dran hat, aber denkt vielleicht auch mit dem Geld, dass es schwieriger ist. Wenn ihr noch nicht 25 seid, bekommt ihr weiterhin noch Kindergeld dafür. Also ihr bekommt noch für eine Zweitausbildung weiterhin Kindergeld. Ja.
Und
Super.
das
Danke.
Kindergeld deckt fast den gleichen Betrag ab pro Monat, was das Studium kostet, FYI.
Auch und
Mhm.
ich möchte noch zu dem Cheerleading noch kurz was dazu erwähnen. Ähm, in meinem Fall war das mit den Trainingszeiten und meinen Arbeitszeiten auch ein bisschen komplizierter, weil das Training in meine Arbeitszeiten gefallen ist. Aber falls ihr irgendwas machen möchtet und ihr seht, dass das vielleicht mit den Arbeitszeiten nicht klappt, man kann nie garantieren, was die Gastfamilie sagt. Vielleicht klappt das ja auch nicht, aber ihr könnt generell immer mit eurer Gastfamilie reden und schauen, ob es vielleicht irgendwie möglich ist. in meinem Fall, dafür bin ich auch sehr dankbar für meine Gastfamilie. Ich wurde montags und mittwochs immer eine Stunde früher von der Arbeit entlassen, damit ich zum Training fahren kann und durfte auch immer ein Auto von der Familie benutzen dafür. Es ist vielleicht nicht immer möglich, aber man kann auf jeden Fall immer mit der Gastfamilie über sowas reden. Wenn
Nachdem
sie
man einen
können,
besonders guten
wenn sie
Job
können,
gemacht hat,
unterstützen sie einen.
genau, nachdem man einen besonders guten Job gemacht hat und sich ein bisschen sozusagen Credit erarbeitet hat, dass man schon mal ein bisschen was geleistet hat, kann man sowas auch dann ansprechen mit der Familie und dann ist man immer, dann hat man bessere Karten, wenn man schon mal sozusagen gesehen hat, dass die Familie sehr happy ist mit dem, wie man sich einbringt, dass es ein Give and Take ist, ja. Weil am Ende des Tages wollen ja die Familien auch, dass ihr euch total wohlfühlt und ihr seid ja dann auch eine Vorbildrolle für die Kinder. Und wenn jemand dort Eigeninitiative hat, wie die Darlene, dann ist es immer sehr, sehr wohl gesehen von den Familien, wenn ihr euch dort einbringt, zum einen in der Familie, aber halt dann auch außerhalb der Familie, wo die Kinder dann so auf euch aufschauen und sagen, oh, cool.
Ja.
Mhm.
Darlene, wie würdest du sagen, hast du dich hier unterstützt gefühlt in den Staaten?
Ähm, Ich habe mich sehr gut unterstützt gefühlt. Also natürlich, wir haben zum einen monatliche Telefonate mit unseren ACDs. In meinem Fall ist das die liebe Debbie.
Mhm.
Und da reden wir einfach darüber, wie es mir in dem Monat ergangen ist, welche Highlights ich hatte, welche Lowlights ich vielleicht hatte. Aber natürlich auch außerhalb von den monatlichen Telefonaten sind die ACDs immer erreichbar, dass man schreiben kann, im Fall, dass irgendwas ist. Wir haben auch monatliche Treffen, wo andere CPs dabei sind, mit denen man sich natürlich auch austauschen kann, was nochmal ein anderes Gefühl ist von Austausch, weil man natürlich viel offener mit anderen CPs spricht, als man vielleicht mit dem ACD würde, weil wir alle in derselben Position gerade sind. Stecken alle in demselben Boot quasi. Und da machen wir so monatliche Treffen, wo wir zum Beispiel Minigolf spielen oder Schlittschuh laufen gehen, vielleicht auch einfach nur einen Kaffee trinken. Ja, und ich habe zum Beispiel auch eine Story, wo ich krank war. Also als ich am Anfang hierher kam, ich bin sehr viel krank gewesen, von September bis Dezember. Ich habe irgendwie eine Grippe nach der nächsten gehabt, warum auch immer. Und in einem monatlichen Telefonat mit der Debbie hat sie gesehen, dass ich krank bin. Und 2 Stunden später hat es an der Tür geklingelt, und mir wurde Hühnersuppe nach Hause geliefert von Debbie,
Oh.
damit ich mich besser fühle, weil ich auch gesagt habe, dass ich nicht kochen, keine Suppe und alles kochen kann, dadurch, dass ich mich so schlecht fühle. Ja, und da hat die liebe Debbie mir das nach Hause geschickt. Ja.
Real quick, Debbie, she was telling the story when you sent soup to her house because she wasn't feeling well. The question was if she feels supported here. So she said yes. You're muted, Debbie. Sorry.
I just wanted to say thank you, Darlene. You're a superstar care professional. And, I'm actually having my artificial intelligence translate all this, but I won't be able to hear it till later because I really wanted to hear what you were saying. So I'm going to listen later in English, but I'm sure it was amazing because you're amazing. You know, I'm sure
Debbie.
I know she spoke about her cheerleading team and like she manifested that. She just said, I'm going to join a cheerleading team in America. And not only did she make it happen, she got to go to Florida with this team. So it's really amazing. If you want to learn how to manifest anything in life, speak to Darlene.
Okay. Und dann noch eine letzte Frage. Darlene, wenn es eine Sache geben würde, die du anderen noch mitgeben würdest, die gerade planen, in die USA zu kommen oder vielleicht auch viel Zweifel haben, was würdest du denen sagen?
Ähm, ja, ich würde sagen, mach es, auch wenn du Zweifel hast. Mach es einfach. Wir sind noch so jung und die Möglichkeit, in Deutschland zu stehen, zu bleiben und dort zu arbeiten, haben wir unser ganzes Leben lang. Aber die Möglichkeit, hierher zu kommen, ist leider einfach nur begrenzt. Wir haben nicht ewig dafür Zeit. Und wenn ihr überlegt, das zu machen, macht es einfach. Es gibt immer Lösungen für alles. Es ist immer jemand da, man kann immer mit jemandem sprechen, falls man Heimweh hat. Es gibt immer Möglichkeiten, auch mit zu Hause zu sprechen oder mit den Freunden, die man hier geschlossen hat, zu sprechen. Ähm, ja, ich würde, wie gesagt, euch einfach raten, es zu machen. Ihr seid jetzt jung, ihr habt jetzt die Möglichkeit, macht es. Ihr macht unglaubliche Erinnerungen, ihr schließt Freundschaften hier. Es wird Auf und Abs geben, aber ich würde von meiner Erfahrung sagen, dass ich mehr Aufs hatte als Ups. Es ist natürlich unterschiedlich, keine Frage, aber sehr viel Positives nur erzählen. Und es ist besser, also ich würde sagen, es ist besser, sich zu fragen, sich zu wundern, was wäre, wenn ich es nicht gemacht hätte, als sich zu fragen, was wäre, wenn ich es gemacht hätte. Weil das Leben zu Hause, es wird immer noch da sein, wenn ihr zurückkommt. Aber die Erinnerung werdet ihr nicht bekommen, wenn ihr es nicht macht.
Danke, Darlene. Ich danke dir wirklich sehr, dass du hier warst. Hat irgendjemand Fragen für Darlene?
Ich wollte noch mal kurz was sagen, weil Darlene war nämlich ein Jahr bei mir in New York und Darlene ist wirklich so ein Vorbild an Care Professional und nicht nur, weil sie sich professionell und persönlich so viel weiterentwickelt hat, sondern auch, sie war so ein Beispiel am Anfang ist es wie beim Fahrradfahren, ja, man fällt oft und es kann sehr schwer sein, man muss sich anpassen, kulturell, alles, ja, die Umgebung, man muss plötzlich neue Freunde finden und da kann es schon sehr holprig sein, aber sie hat nie, 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 nie aufgegeben. Aber ich möchte sagen, es ist nicht immer alles, wie Susan schon gesagt hat, es ist nicht immer alles Sonnenschein am Anfang, ja. Und deswegen ist es so toll, dass sie 2 Jahre, und ich freue mich so sehr, dass sie 2 Jahre gemacht hat, weil wirklich die ersten 6 Monate manchmal sind so die Eingewöhnungsphase, ja. Und man lernt viel, man macht Fehler und das ist auch okay. Wir haben hier bei Apex diese Kultur wirklich, you're failing forward, ja. Es ist okay, Fehler zu machen. Und aber sie hat dann wirklich gesagt, hey, weißt du was? Ich habe jetzt ein Jahr in New York gemacht bei der Familie, aber ich weiß ganz genau, jetzt weiß ich viel, viel besser. Und Darlene, bitte korrigiere mich, wenn ich falsch bin, aber jetzt weiß ich ganz genau, welche Familie ich für das zweite Jahr gerne haben möchte, ja, die meiner Persönlichkeit mehr entspricht, die kulturell mir mehr entspricht. Und deswegen, Darlene, wollte erstmal dich wirklich loben, wie toll du das alles gehandelt hast, wie mit so viel Reife und Professionalität. Und kannst du uns einmal kurz in der Runde, weil ich glaube, das ist für diese Gruppe sehr wichtig, sagen, wie hast du deine Interviewfragen geändert fürs zweite Jahr, wo du genau wusstest, okay, ich weiß jetzt vielleicht sogar noch ein bisschen besser, was ich fragen muss beim Interviewen, was mir noch mehr hilft, genau die richtige Familie zu finden.
Ja, gerne. Bei mir war tatsächlich hauptsächlich, was sich geändert hat, war mehr im Familienleben die Fragen also die richtigen Fragen zu stellen. Also genau zu fragen, wie sieht ein Familienleben bei euch aus? Wie sehen Abende bei euch aus? Oder auch Wochenende enden. Ähm, Weil mir das doch ziemlich wichtig geworden ist. Ich habe gemerkt, dass ich doch schon ein sehr starker Familienmensch bin. Ich wusste immer, dass ich ein Familienmensch bin, aber ich habe festgestellt, dass ich ein sehr starker Familienmensch bin und ich brauche einfach auch mal so Familienabende, wo man zusammensitzt und vielleicht einfach einen Film schaut, wo man einfach sitzt und redet, wo man irgendwelche Feiertage einfach zusammen feiert. Das war nämlich auch ein Punkt noch zusätzlich, was ich noch mehr gestellt habe, welche Feiertage gefeiert werden und wie sie gefeiert werden. Ähm, ja, das war so, was ich geändert habe. Also einmal das Familienleben, wie das aussieht und wie so die Feiertage aussehen und wie typisch amerikanisch die Familie ist. Aber das hat sich dadurch schon sehr stark rausgestellt. Und jetzt kann bestätigen, was mir in den Interviews beantwortet wurde, denn diese Familie ist sehr amerikanisch und aber auch sehr liebevoll und wirklich sehr familiär. Und sie gehen all in für die Feiertage. Und ich liebe das einfach.
Super.
Ja.
Schön.
Danke, Darlene.
Okay, so let's switch back to English so we all know what we're talking about. So this is the part, wait, let me share my screen again. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so this is the part of the presentation where we'll I will hand it over to the team members, to the ACGs, and they will introduce the different regions to you. And then they will also introduce the different families to you. And you'll see the US is very huge, it's very different in very different places. So they'll explain that to you. And this, I'm going to pass over to Debbie. This is Hillsborough, New Jersey.
Yeah. So just in New Jersey in general, we have a great group of, as you could see from the photos, like many, many care professionals, and almost all of them come to all our meetups. That was a recent mini golf meetup you see there. And Darlene's there in the back with her mom, who was visiting from Germany. Oh, she said, "Can my mom come?" I said, "Of course, the more the merrier." So it was fun. We had mini golf with Darlene and her mom. We had snacks, and it's really, our meetups are really fun. That other picture is of a past meetup with Swan paddle boats. We have a meetup every month with all of us, but the care professionals always get together a lot more than once a month with each other. They have so much fun. Hillsborough is about a little over an hour from New York City. Um, and, New Jersey, the nickname is the Garden State. That's because it's really beautiful. We have beaches, we have mountains, and we have a lot of forests for hiking and a lot of greenery for people who love nature. We really, really have everything. So yeah, I mean, I love it here. I love the ability to go to New York City and be in like the fast action, so fast in Ellie's world with the city never sleeps. And, so yeah, New Jersey's great. And our group is great. So do you want to, so this family is a really wonderful, loving family. Um, the host dad now lives separately from the host mom, but he comes every morning to help with the kids. There's two children. See, their current ages are Jacob, who's 6, and Daniel is 3. That picture's a little older, I guess. But Jacob has very high functioning autism. He goes to a regular school, but he's in a special class within that school. And this care professional would go with him to OT once a week. And their current care professional is super proactive. She loves to talk, and this host mom loves to talk. And this host mom says she wants someone who's an over communicator because she's an over communicator. She likes to make sure her care professional is super happy. She was a new host mom, so she calls me all the time in the very beginning saying, "Is Rika happy? I want to make sure she's happy. Am I doing the right thing for her?" So if you like to talk and want a host mom who likes to talk and is very involved with caring for you, then, and to partner with her more now since she and the dad are getting divorced, but it's a very friendly divorce. He comes over a lot and, but she really is very close with her care professional. And you share a car with the host mom and the host dad. She's very nice about it, especially if you tell her in advance you need something certain or something a certain day with the car. She works hard to make sure she wants you to be very, very happy. She works hard for that. And our current care professional, Rika, is very proactive with solutions. Like Jacob didn't want to come to the table for dinner, and he was just following the mom around she had the magnet tiles that he wanted to play with. And Rika said to him, "Jacob, let's talk about this. I'll give you 3 options. Do you want to talk about it on the couch, in the kitchen?" Or she gave him another option. So he said, "On the couch." So they go on the couch. So she said, "Let's talk about what time of the day this is." And he said, "Well, it's dinner time." So she goes, "Oh, what do we do at dinner time?" So she led him and she prevented a whole war because she is very thoughtful about what to do, making a success chart, stuff like that. So if you're that kind of person, this is the family for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. And then you have another family in Alpine, New Jersey.
Yes.
Same
Yeah,
picture.
this is a very unique family because they have 2 care professionals and they want another 2. So it's kind of fun for you guys if you get to live with this family because you also have another German care professional living in the same house as you. So you automatically have a BFF which is really nice. There's two nonverbal children, Natalia, who's 8, and Jacob is 5. Okay, again, this is a little bit of an older picture, but Jacob was considered nonverbal, and now he's emerging verbal. And this host mom gives all the credit to her care professionals. And she also said Natalia, who is never so happy, is so happy now because of her care professionals. With this family, you get a lot of training. She said she doesn't care so much about what your profession is. She will give you all the training you need, but you have to be very motivated to want to learn. She'll give you a lot of speech therapy training with their speech specialists. You get a lot of OT. ABA comes every day. You get to be part of all these different therapies. There's a lot of therapies going around on this family. And yeah, and you also do things with the family on weekends and stuff like that. This mom she has a very intense job in New York City as a lawyer, so she's not around that much, and not like the other mom's a teacher that I was talking about, so she comes home every day with after school time, so she has more time to focus, on, hey, are you happy, this, that. This host family is very nice, but they're more like, they're very involved in their jobs, and she also has a lot of training for you. So if you want a lot of training and you can stick to a very intense schedule, because she is very scheduled, with the children. So if you're that kind of person that likes that and thrives in that environment, that would be really great for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Also, one important thing, you don't drive with that family.
Okay,
No.
no driving.
No, she provides a Uber account, but no driving in that family.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay, so the next area we're going to be talking about Palm Beach in Florida. This is a very beautiful place. Also, I'm sure a very popular place. I'm sure some of you have heard of that before. You have the best of both worlds. You have the relaxed living near the beaches, but you also have that city vibe. So you're close enough to the city, but not right in the city, which is great. So you can kind of choose what you need for the day. There are a lot of parks, trails, there's a lot of shopping, um, a lot of dining by the water, just beautiful. And you can make very quick trips to Miami because it's not too far. And there's always a lot going on. Festivals, art, culture. You'll experience a lot of different things here. These are some pictures of the meetups that they had there before, so you'll see they had a lot of fun. So the first family that lives there is Maggie. This is their family. They're very warm, but also a very active family. So they also need someone who's very active as well to match with their dynamic. Their daughter, Bailey, on up here, she has autism and she also has developmental delays. So she will need some support with that. And then their other son, Bryce, he's the older son. He likes a lot of sports and he's also very focused on his schoolwork. He's very good with that. So he needs support with both these things. The family, they are doing a lot of activities generally, so you're always invited as well. Some professional experiment or development that you can get in this placement is you get to join all the therapies, so you get to be part of all the sessions. And it's really going to be hands-on. They let you, whichever profession you are, you get to practice with the kids. You'll have some time to do that. And then you get to build a lot of special needs experience, skills, and be part of a team. And they're looking for someone that is, like I said, very active, but also proactive, very loving because they're a very warm and loving family. You have to be willing to work with a nonverbal child. You should be a good driver, non-smokers only, and able to adapt to a busy family's lifestyle, because it's one of the busier families. Okay. The next family is in Columbus, Ohio, which is very different. Ohio is in the Midwest, so it's in the literal middle of America. People there are very nice and very sweet, very American. You'll get a very American experience here. It's a very advanced city, one of the more advanced cities in the Midwest. There is a lot going on, a lot of festivals, a lot of different foods, lots of coffee shops. Um, it's cheaper than living in some of the other big cities. The Midwest is generally cheaper, which is, I think, good to know. And yeah, they have beautiful waterfronts, like you see on the picture, and beautiful parks. In this area, you will still have an ACD, but she will not be living there. So you're gonna have an LCL that's gonna be close to your living close to you. The LCL is actually German too, so it's pretty cool. You get someone to speak German with at your meetups. Okay. Generally, in the Midwest areas, it's very easy to make friends, is something I also want to say. I stayed in the Midwest before too, so I can confirm that because people are so open and friendly and they really want to take you by the hand and show you around. So if you're open to it, you'll make friends there easily, even if there are not many care professionals. The family that lives there is Amelie's family. Yes. So they're a very fun, active, and inclusive family. They have 3 children, and 2 of them have developmental delays and epilepsy. So you will have to be comfortable working in that medical environment. You will be working very closely with the parents and the therapists and help with the daily care as well. It's gonna be very hands-on experience with the children, since they have very complex medical needs. And you will get a lot of insights in PT, OT, speech therapy, feeding therapy, and then medical training like oxygen administration or seizure care. So in this family, you have a lot of opportunities to learn and to also see different fields too that you might have not been interested in before. You get like that overview of all the therapies. Okay, so they are looking for a female care professional only, with pediatric special needs experience. They are open to, they are also open if you don't have experience, but you want to learn and you really want to be all in. They're fine with that too. They can train you on the things. But you just have to be comfortable with it. You need to be comfortable and confident going in the family like that. You have to be very organized and multitask because they're also very busy. So there might be a lot of things going on for all the kids. So you have to be able to manage that and to be organized. They also need a strong driver and swimmer. So if you're great at swimming. All right. Next family is Ellie's family in the Bronx.
Yes. So the Bronx is actually a really, really beautiful place. Most people don't know, but the Yankee Stadium is in the Bronx. So if you want to explore American sports like baseball, you're gonna have a short ride to visit events at the stadium, like concerts. Also, the Botanical Garden is in the Bronx, and also the zoo, which is a really nice place even for adults. And it's a very, very short subway ride to Manhattan, and you're very close. You will have a car available. You're very close to driving to other care professions that live in the suburbs, or even Connecticut or New Jersey. So the location is really, really great. Nina, can we go into the next? Great. So one more thing actually about New York. I think a lot of people don't know that it's not just city life, like busy city life, like as Debbie said, the city that never sleeps. There's always something to do in Manhattan, always. Like if you like theater, Broadway, concerts, parks, food, restaurants, the list is like endless. But New York also has a short ride to the beaches. Long Island, we have amazing beaches on Long Island. Then you can go upstate for hiking, or you can go skiing within 45 minutes. So honestly, we have the mountains, we have the beaches, we have the city life, there's suburbs. So we really have everything. And then New York is so multicultural. You will meet people from Germany, South America, all over the world. So like New York is really the place where you can socialize, but also if you have interests like, just reading or other activities, like you can always find something in New York. And then you're so super close to New Jersey. I know that a lot of my care professionals go to the New Jersey meetups because Debbie's meetups are like super fun. So you can do that too. Um, and then Hilana's family, every time I speak about Hilana, the host mom, I refer to as an angel of a mom because she really, really is. She has a heart of gold. She's a pediatric anesthesiologist, so she doesn't have an easy job. She's extremely hardworking. So she is doing surgeries most of the time. And therefore, the care professional really needs to be super mature, independent thinker, hands on with the children, like not somebody who obviously there's an onboarding phase, but somebody who's really a self starter, and that the host mom can really rely on the care professional. The host dad is a lawyer. He works mostly from home. So he is present, but really in the background. So although, sometimes you find families where the parents are working from home, that doesn't mean that they're actively present for the children. That means you need to be, you know, there can be meetings to make sure that, the children know that you are in charge. Although the dad is home, that he can do his work from his office at home and not be bothered. At the same time, it's good that if there is an emergency, you have another adult in the home, right? They have 3 children now. So 2 children, like 8 and 6. Sorry, the slide is not updated. That's my mistake. And then they have a newborn baby. So host mom is home for another 2 months. And then probably by the time one of the new care professional arrives, host mom has to go back to work, and the baby will be in a daycare most of the days. So this family is definitely looking for somebody who's infant care qualified. The host son, who's 8, has ADHD, and then the daughter is the youngest. Now the middle child is the daughter. She's neurotypical. The kids are super, super sweet. Honestly, they play Lego, they go to karate. They just want somebody who sits on the floor with them and plays with them. They're super, super, super playful, active. Something to mention is that this is a Jewish family, which is very, very common in New York. We have a large Jewish community here, and all my care professionals who've been working actually in this family, they really appreciate it because it's another new experience for you, right? Like, and they're very, very open-minded and liberal. So if the care professional wants a Christmas tree in their room, they're totally fine with that. Um, but my care professionals always say how beautiful it is to celebrate the Jewish holidays with them, like Hanukkah and all these other big Jewish holidays. So it's really like a beautiful new experience. And again, like I can only say good things about this family. They're very, very flexible, open-minded, very caring, big, big heart, and the kids are very, very sweet. Thank you, Nina.
All right, thanks everybody for presenting. Let me just stop sharing my screen. So if you haven't signed up yet, you can always book a consultation, of course, and please reach out to us or to your talent development coach for that. So, okay. Right, this is the part where you guys get to ask us questions. Questions about the families, questions about the process, questions about interviewing, really anything that comes to mind. Let us know. We love questions. No.
when they are saying that they only want to have female care professionals, is that like there's no room for males?
So they probably decided on that a while ago, so that's why it's in their profile. If you're really interested in that family, maybe you can reach out to Julie and maybe she can ask them if there's, somebody that fits whatever they need for their child. If they would be interested in interviewing a male candidate as well.
Okay, thanks.
But a lot of times I have families, and I know that I'm gonna have another family that's coming online soon. They have two teenage boys, and they usually prefer male care professionals because they want somebody active. And then, I feel like I have two boys myself, like when they're in a preteen teen age almost, they're better connecting with male care professionals. So I wouldn't, so usually I have a lot of families that are very much interested in male care professionals.
I have 3 families personally that only choose male care professionals just because it's better for their household. So, we have a lot of families that are looking for males for specific reasons, and so I wouldn't be too worried about that.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Any questions? It's a free place to ask anything you want to know, anything you may be wondering, anything about interviewing with families, anything.
Or if you're feeling shy, you can put it in the chat. That's fine too.
Yeah, just one question. I already spoke to Emily's family in Columbus, and they are very amazing. But I felt like a little that, of course, there's much therapy, and Lulu and Hazel are often in therapy, but I think I get the feeling that it's sometimes more like a nanny job, and I really want to make sure that my profession as a physical therapist is needed. And yeah, what is your ja, wie denkt ihr darüber? Also, hast du irgendwie eine Meinung davon?
So what I usually recommend is just as much as the family's interviewing them, you're also interviewing, as much as they're interviewing you, you're also interviewing them. So you want to make sure that you find a place that's good for you as well. And so you can ask them those questions. What is therapy going to be like when I'm with your family? What therapy opportunities do I have? I'm really interested in doing this, this, this. Do you feel like that's something that I would be able to experience with your family? And ask them those questions. What I've also done is I've had some care professionals in the past who said, you know what, I'm not really getting as much therapy experience in my family as I want to. And I found we look and do some research and find some partners in the area where they can volunteer. And you do have to get 20 volunteer hours while you're here. And so finding a therapy praxis where you can go and volunteer with them and kind of learn hands-on from somebody else is also something that we can do. So something you can talk to your ACD about. But my biggest thing would be just ask the host family, what is this going to look like in your host family? And this is what I'm interested in. Is there something, is that something you think is possible with this family? Because as much as they are talking to you and figuring out if you're a good fit, you also have to make sure that that family is a good fit for you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Good. Any other questions about the families? Was there anyone that you were interested in specifically? Did any one of you see a family where they're like, hey, I would like to work for them. That sounds fun. That sounds like something I would like to do.
I find Maggie's family kind of interesting because they said that they want an active family and they do a lot of activities together. And I think I'm looking for an active family as well. What kind of sports are they doing or activities are they doing?
I think from what I know, just the kids are doing a million different things, but as a family, they do like kayaking and all these random fun activities. So literally anything that comes to mind. I'm sure if
Okay,
there's something that you would really like to do, you can bring it up to them and they might be down for that too. But if
that's
that's a
cool.
family that you would like to interview, um, let's keep that on mind. Maybe you can ask your matching specialist if they can connect you with the family.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anyone else who are you guys interested in? Did you guys take any notes of any families that you liked? No?
Was there anything that you said, oh, I think that that's not a good family for me for whatever reason, or I think that is a good family? Did you guys hear anything that made you think about what you're looking for in a family?
Lavinia, I feel like you were smiling a lot at some of the families. Was there someone you really liked? Yeah, Lavinia, did I say that right or wrong?
Yes. I like Maggie's family. Then there are really good things, and autism is a really yeah. I like autism, but my kids in the kindergarten are autism too, and I'm like to work with ABA therapies, and that's really interesting to do work with that.
Nice. Very good.
Thank you.
For everyone else, why do you guys what made you guys decide to work with children with special needs? What's your motivation?
Yeah, for me, early therapy is very important because you can have such a big impact in those early lives and in those young ages. And I think their futures can be much brighter if we can manage some issues now and not too late. Yeah, this is what some other families told me as well, that they value us as their CPs or as their future CPs maybe, that we are over there and want to make sure that the therapy is there when it's needed. And yeah, I think this is.
That's true. That's a huge point. Carla, was there any family that interested you today?
Yeah, of course, I'm still in contact with Emily, and yeah, maybe let's see what's up next with her. But yeah, I'm in contact with 3 other families right
Okay.
now, so it's very hard to decide, to be honest.
Yeah.
You in Germany, we say you can't compare pears with apples. So
Yeah.
it's like the families are very different in somehow, and the children, of course, are very different. And I already talked to, I think, 5 or 6 families till now. So I got a lot of experience with interviews, and yeah, sometimes you directly get to know the family so good that you have like, oh wow, this family is could be a very perfect match for me. But the second interview, you can change your mind so fastly, and some other families you directly know that this isn't the family you want to get to know more. And yeah, it's very different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's good to just ask very very direct questions, maybe not in the first interview, but maybe in the second interview. So something that I always say in the academy is ask them, what does a day in your family look like? And ask them specifically, what does a bad day look like? What does a rough day look like? What does it look like when the children are on their worst behavior, right? We want to know what we're getting into, not just the pretty, but also the ugly, just so we can be ready. I think that's very important. Are there any of you that have not started interviewing yet? Who of you have not? Leon, okay. Lavinia, also not. Okay. So something that is generally really important for families, we've gotten some feedback, so I'm giving you this as a tip, is to upload a video to your profile. One of my host moms, she's like, I don't even look at the profile if they don't have a video on it. And I'm like, oh, why? Why would you not look at their profile? And she was like, because to me, it almost seems like it wasn't worth it for them to put in all this effort just for us to see them. So I think it just shows how all in you are and that you put all this effort in, and to just put a quick video of you together because it shows your personality. So that's a tip that or something that we're getting very often. Katarina, which other tips would you give them for if they haven't started interviewing yet or if they're in the beginning stages?
Yeah, I mean the biggest advice that I can give is I mean host families love to see a video because it makes you it gives them a little bit of an insight of who you are as a person and kind of your personality based on those videos. But the biggest advice that I'll give anybody is and I've said it before and I'll say it over and over again. This is also your experience, and you want to make sure that you have a positive experience and that you're enjoying your time and that you're getting out of this what you also want. So I think it's so important to ask the families just as many questions as they're asking you. And it shows them that you're interested and that they also want to find the person that's perfect for their family. So, and I say there's a pot for every lid, and sometimes you just don't fit with a family. There's some bosses that I've had that I know, hey, we don't work well together. And that's just life. You can't work well with everybody. So nobody takes it personally if you're like, hey, I don't think that that's the right fit for me, because they don't want they don't want to work with somebody if you don't feel like that's the right fit for you. And so you're going to find your family that you have that Bauchgefühl, that I don't know how to say that in English, where you say, hey, I feel like this is my family and this is where I want to be. And so, just kind of go with your gut. Just kind of go with when you talk to a family, you can feel kind of, okay, this is a good fit for me, or I don't know. And I say, really just ask those questions. Like, Carla, if there's something that's important to you and you say, hey, I want to be able to do this, this, and this, ask them, talk to them, say, hey, Lavinia, you were saying ABA therapy is really cool to you. Hey, do you guys work with an ABA therapist? Do you guys have in-home therapy? Do you guys have outside of home therapy? Am I able to participate in those therapies? What would therapy homework look like at home for me? Do you want me to continue those therapies at home and continue working on those things? And just really ask those questions so that you're also getting the experience that you want out of it, because it's just as important for you as it is for the host family. And when you're loving what you're doing and you're passionate about it and you're excited about it, you're going to do so much better work. And that's so much better for the host family, for you, for the kids, for everybody. It's just when you're happy and excited about what you're doing, then it shows in your work and it shows with the kids, and you're going to have a much better time. So don't just pick a family because you say, oh, I don't really feel great about them, but I don't really know where else I would go, so I'm just gonna say yes. Or, hey, I only want to be in California, so I'm gonna say yes to that family because they're in California. I promise you, you're gonna have a much better experience if you're in the right family than if you're in the right location, because you can visit anywhere. And I have care professionals in Wisconsin and in Ohio and in Milwaukee, and they'll tell me, like, hey, I would have never picked this place, but now that I'm here, I'm amazed by how beautiful and how incredible it is. So just because it's not a place that you've seen on social media or in the movies, it doesn't mean it's not a cool place. I mean, the United States is huge and there's cool places anywhere you go. And I always say you can travel somewhere and go, like if you want to be in California, you can go to California for a week. It's going to be fine. But if you're with a family that you don't love just because they're in California, you're not going to love California anymore. So,
And to that, I have an example too. I actually did have a CP a couple years ago that came for California and she really loved LA, but she didn't get along with the family. And she had to go into a rematch eventually. And then she ended up in Birmingham, Alabama, where she was so worried to go there because for her, it's like there is nothing, right? I'm in the middle of LA and I'm going to Birmingham, Alabama. And she extended with that family. She's still there. She's about to enter her travel month, and she's had the best time ever because she didn't look for the place, she looked for the family.
So
Um,
true. And I
agree.
also sometimes ask the care professionals, how did you choose this family? And they're like, you know, something was the first family I spoke to, or one of the families I spoke to, but I got a feeling so much like we had the same sense of humor. It really jived. Like, so that is, I also agree is so important. And the other very important thing is the therapies. Some people, some of you guys really want the experience, and some families give a lot of experience. They have a lot of training, a lot of therapists that work, and some really don't. You know, even if they say we have certain kind of therapy, say, how often would I be trained? How often would I go to that therapy? You know, because if it's just once a week for an hour, that might not be what you're looking for. And you know, a whole year, it's a whole year, you know, and it's a great year. I mean, we have so many who extend and it's amazing, but you want to get the kind of experience you want, or the amount of experience, and you want to feel like you really jive with this family, like you're happy with them, with their style and everything. So yeah, I agree. It's much more important than location. Although
Yeah.
New Jersey,
And every family is different, so obviously each place is different, but then also every job is different, right? We have to be aware of that too. So please ask, just like in any other job that you'd apply for, ask how much am I gonna make? When are my days off? Am I gonna work weekends? How flexible am I taking my time off? Like all these things that might be important to you. This is important to know, right? This is what we ask in every job interview. We want to know how much we make and when we work. What's our schedule? Some of you might have a split schedule. Some might work in chunks. Some might work only 3 days a week. I have that too. Some might only work a couple hours every day. So please ask these questions and ask yourself if you're okay with it. Because later you're going to come here and your friends, every single one of them is going to have a different job than you. They interviewed with a different person, they applied for a different job, and even though you're all care professionals, you all might make different money. You might live in different states where the laws around the money are different, right? There are 2 states where you get minimum wage, and other states you just get a salary. Um, so please don't compare yourself, but make sure in the beginning that it's fine with you and that you can live with it. Even if someone might have a better family, right? In your eyes. Like, but every job's different, so that's what you're interviewing for. That's why you have now the opportunity. Don't feel bad asking these questions. Don't feel ashamed to ask. It's important. You want to know these things. And then, like I said, for the special needs, if they tell you, hey, there's something, what are the challenges? You want to ask, what are some challenges? So that then you can ask, how can I prepare for those? Can you recommend a book? Can you recommend a person that wrote about this or that? Can you recommend certain lessons that I can already take while I'm here to show them that you're really interested in the family and in your job? I
my
think.
jumping on what you just said, Nina, my son always says when they say at the end, do you have any questions? A great thing to say for any interview is, if I were lucky enough to get a job offer from you, what could I do now to start preparing? What book, like Nina, you said, like, what book can I read now to start preparing for for when I walk into that door. Like if there are certain behaviors of the child, you could say like, also, how do you handle those behaviors? Do you redirect? Like, what could I start learning now about that diagnosis that could help me?
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have any more questions about that interviewing process? No? Okay, awesome. Guys are all ready? That's good. Okay. Debbie or Katerina, is there anything that we missed to discuss? Is there anything that you guys want to mention?
Oh, I just want to also say about asking how much you're going to make, how much money you're going to make. I know that's a very like uncomfortable question. It's like embarrassing to talk about money, but you could say, look, I feel shy to ask you this, but we're trained to ask you this because, that's part of our decision in what job we're going to accept. So, Nina, Katerina, do you not want to weigh in on an appropriate way to ask that question?
Yes, yeah. So yes, how much you make is important, and that's important to know before any job. But sometimes think about maybe you're not going to get paid as much, but they'll give you some extra benefits. Like you can drive the car whenever you want, and they'll cover your gas, or they'll pay for your gym membership, or they will pay for, there's other things that families will give you that doesn't necessarily doesn't necessarily mean how, so maybe you're making the 277 a week, which is the minimum, but the family's giving you all these extra things that they're paying for. They take you on trips, they go here, they go do that. So you can kind of talk about that and make sure you think about that as well. Because I have one care professional who makes the 277, but she goes on a trip to Canada every month for therapies. Her host family lets her drive and they cover all of her gas, so she doesn't ever have to pay for gas, even it's in her personal time. They pay for her gym membership at a very nice gym, and so she gets to go there. And they also pay, she goes to a tennis club where they pay all of her memberships and all of that stuff. So look at those things as well. And it's usually written on the profile, but make sure you keep in mind that maybe you'll be making less money, but they'll be giving you more benefits. And maybe you'll get more money, but you get less benefits. So keep in mind those things as well as you're looking at how much money you're making.
Great point.
Very true. Awesome. Do you guys have any questions about that? Any questions in general? Is all clear? I put you guys my email in the chat as well if some questions come up later about your matching process or about any questions about any families that we just talked about, and we'll get back to you. Kim, I'm seeing you raising your hand.
Yes, I want to start in January. So I don't know, I'm too early, but maybe I'm a little bit impatient.
That's okay.
So have a lot of families in my favorites,
Mhm.
but a lot of families, I sent an email to a matching team, and they said they are not online now. So I don't know, I'm too early for January, or
I will say, Americans and especially our host families, they're not very good about being early, and they're very last minute. So I have some host families that are looking for October, and they're still not online yet. So because they're like, oh, I can wait, oh, I can wait, and then they push everything to the last minute. So I wouldn't feel discouraged. You may find one or two host families that are online because we have some that are, they're like, yeah, let me get online, let me get started, let me start
There are
looking.
even some that I know there will be there in January,
Yeah,
but
I know. I have one also who will be there in January.
I have 4 host families that are waiting for January. They're just not online yet.
I got around 3, yeah, but that's funny.
And so I wouldn't feel discouraged. I would, if your interviews don't start racking up until October, November, December, totally normal, totally fine. That's just
But
how.
it's good to keep your eyes out,
Yes.
right?
Keep
Because
looking, and keep interviewing, because I
Yeah.
say even if you think, okay, maybe this is not the right family for me, still talk to them, because then you can have something to compare to, and you can say, hey, I know I don't like that, so let me ask about that in my next host family.
It's
Or I know
practice
that's
too.
not something I want, so you have a little bit more experience where you can compare and say, okay, I know that I don't like that, let me find a family that doesn't have that. And so
yeah, it's good interview experience anyway. You get less nervous the more you do it. So why not just have
And
an
I even had a CP that they were supposed to match a month later, but or a month earlier. So they waited for her because they liked her so much. So maybe you'll interview with someone and they are not up in January. They might be up in December, but they might be waiting for you because they really like you. So just keep your eyes out, and if you really like someone, just shoot your shot and try your best. And if not, it's good experience and you can move on from there. But you're in a good timing. This is a good timing. 6 months before. It's good.
yeah, we try to tell our host families to get online 6 months before, but again, it's very typical
We're not
American.
German.
It's very typical American to just be like, oh, that's 6 months. I don't care about that now. And then it's like, oh, it's October. I need someone in 3 months. I need to start looking. And then they start panicking. And so
And I
that's
remind them, we
yeah.
remind them, and they say, we're so busy, we're going to do it, but we're just so busy. And then like busy, the time keeps going by.
And then they're like, oh, shoot, I don't have any more time.
Yeah.
Very, very typical American.
Yeah. I think Susan once said, if you're German and a meeting starts at 2 o'clock, if you're 5 minutes before 2, you're on time. If you're American, 5 minutes after 2, that's on time.
Yeah. Any more questions? Can we help with anything else? No, all good. Well, then, did you guys want to say something? Debbie, Katarina, we got it covered. Awesome.
No, I feel like we talked everything I would suggest. I'm just excited for you guys to come and for this adventure with you guys. And it's always so much fun to get to meet you guys at the start and then see it kind of flow, so coming to America, finding a family, and then watching your experience here. It's always really cool.
So
Yeah.
true. And you guys are going to have the time of your lives. I tell everyone to keep a journal, that so you can remember everything from the beginning, from even now, and all your impressions, and and then from when you arrive, and then when you look at it back over the year or 2 years, you'll be like, wow, you're going to grow so much personally, so much professionally. You're not even going to believe it. And you're going to have the time of your lives. You're going to get experience, you're going to travel, you're gonna, your English will become completely fluent, which you'll have for the rest of your lives, which will help you in so many different jobs. Maybe in Germany, you never know, you might meet an American and stay here forever. It happened.
Me.
But
yeah, it happened to
Like
Nina.
me. Or Katarina too, kind of.
Yeah, I did meet my husband here and got stuck. So
happens to a lot. I'll tell
I'm
you.
trying to convince him to move to Germany. We're working on it.
My husband's trying to convince me, imagine.
That's so funny. I'll tell you really quick. I had one care professional who called me and said, my host mom wants me to walk the dog, and that's not part of my duties. So I said, you're right. You have to speak to her. They just got a new dog, and the mom wanted her to walk it. So I said, you're right. You don't have to walk the dog. So I said, you want me to talk to her? She said, no. But so I helped her figure out what to say. Usually we coach you guys to speak to them yourselves. So in a few weeks, I spoke to her and I said, what happened with walking the dog? She said, oh, I really love to walk the dog. I said, oh, what happened? She said, well, I went to a dog park and I met a guy walking his dog. Do you know that they got married and she lives in America now. She was a nurse in Germany, a pediatric nurse, and she got a job here in a hospital, not as a nurse, but then she went back and got her degree here. And he bought her a house and they got married in the backyard of the house. And yeah, they walk their dogs together now. They have 2 dogs that walk together. So you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, that's so funny.
There's a lot of matches are made with Apex.
Yeah, that's very true.
A lot of people meet on Apex.
All right, guys. On that note, we wish you all the best. If you have any questions, my email is in the chat. Always reach out about literally anything. That's totally fine. And I hope we'll see you guys soon here with us. So I wish you have a great evening and thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
And thank you, Nina, Katarina.
Thanks for your time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.